Hello, my friends, and maybe my new friends who are interested in learning more about the National Fallen Angel League. In this video, I'm compiling all the videos that I have done exposing these NFL players as literal fallen angels. And at first, I wasn't 100% sure. When I started doing Kobe Bryant as Myles Garrett maybe 2 years ago, it was before I was fully on the fallen angel bandwagon. And then I came across Tom Brady, and I literally thought maybe he was a blood drinking vampire. But now I know what they are. They're fallen angels. They can shapeshift, they can get younger, they can age reduce. And well, here's what I've done. So if there's a little incohesiveness to the videos, because I'm literally just doing a compilation of videos I've done in the past. But if there's some incohesiveness on that, me calling them vampires or fallen angels, or just humans that have surgery and whatnot, I fully know they're fallen angels now. So know that going in. Just remember some of these videos are old. Enjoy. I'm not saying, I'm just showing. Kobe Bryant, Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns. They kind of look alike, right? They kind of look really alike. And there's more to it than that. There are some similarities that might just shock you if you continue to watch. And like I said, I'm not saying, I'm just showing. Now, not only do they look similar and have very similar mannerisms, but Myles Garrett just also happens to be really good at basketball. Really good. And move a heck of a lot like a certain somebody else. Do you see it? Because I sure see it. And not just on the way to the hoop, but the way they finish as well. That's a charity game, and that's an NBA game. And I'm not sure what this is about, but Myles Garrett dribbling a basketball in an NFL game. And some of you might be saying, but they're built so differently. Kobe's tall and skinny, and Myles is tall and strong. Yeah, because no one has ever gone from zero to hero in a short amount of time. And that's a funny hand symbol they're both making. I wish I knew what that meant. And if you're just not convinced yet, that's okay. But maybe this smoking gun birthmark might do it for you. It's a strange spot to have a very similar birthmark on both seemingly different bodies. And one just happened to exit a league when the other one came into a league. And something that really never sat right with me was when a cartoon depicted Kobe crashing in a helicopter years before it happened. Fishy. And like I said in the beginning, I'm not saying, I'm just showing. You guys make up your own mind on this one. Because after all, I'm a satire account and this is just for entertainment purposes only.
I think that Tom is motivated by blood because he's a vampire, so he needs that blood to remain looking like a 25-year-old child who is just still playing in his prime. So he's out for blood.
Here's said vampire Tom Brady at the age of 22, and here he is at the age of 48. And you think he maintains that youthfulness just from eating healthy? You see, what you might not realize is that they tell us the truth about things. They just do it in a joking manner so you laugh it off. The internet says, oh, it's just a joke that Dante Stallworth was calling Tom a vampire out for blood, and it's clearly just not meant literally. Like I said, they have to tell us. Tom even said it himself yesterday in a game. And thank you to my buddy Goofy for this clip.
Yes, Julian. Watch out, I'm still coming for you. You're getting older and I'm staying the same age. He really is. Just look at him. We want to see
In case you couldn't hear that. Julian, you're getting older and I'm staying the same age. And then the other announcer said, yes, he really is. Look at him. And well, I've done a video on how Tom used to be, even down to the exact same taste in clothing and glasses, Larry Hagman. Maybe you non-youngins remember Larry Hagman, who has the exact same butt chin in the exact same spot and the exact same wrinkles in their forehead and the exact same hairline and the exact same mouth and nose as Tom. Well, he was from the show I Dream of Jeannie in Dallas. And I've done a video on this, but just for those that missed it, I'll show you a few more things. Like, again, their butt chin in the exact same spot, and their chin scarring and lining. Look, it comes down right there, just like his. And they just coincidentally happen to have the exact same 2 blemishes in the exact same spot right under his eye. And well, I don't really think Tom's a vampire. I just call him that. No, I think he's something else entirely. You see, the should-be canonized in the Bible Book of Enoch equates stars with angels, particularly fallen angels. And then the Bible talks about how the dragon swept with his tail a third of the stars from the sky, tossing them to the earth. So essentially, the dragon brought down a third of the stars or angels with him to earth. And well, you know what a third is, right? It's 0.333 repeating. And they seem to always tell us with their number 3s. They put it in everything with their hand symbols and their news stories. And I couldn't help but notice that there was a 3 in Tom Brady's TB12 logo right there. 3. Do you see that 3? It's supposed to be a B, but they hit a 3 in there. And then, 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So there's 33 right in his logo. Oh, and remember how I said there was a dragon that brought a third of the stars or angels from heaven down to earth with him? Well, that dragon's another name for Lucifer or the devil. And well, we know what devil horns look like, right? You know, the rock on sign. Well, I couldn't help but notice that not only is Tom flashing the 33, as in a third of the angels that fell. Well, let's see if you notice what else he flashes there. Do you see that? Do you see that? So he's flashing a third and rock on, just in case you needed a closer look. And remember, the Book of Enoch references fallen angels with stars. And you know who just happens to have a Hollywood Walk of Fame star? Larry Hagman, right there. And you know who happens to be referenced as a star all the time? Tom Brady, a football star who cares. Starcast, star power, stargazing. He has a star around him. He's holding a star. But that's not it. No, he's also depicted as an angel quite often. Very often, in fact. Doesn't this football card almost look like there's angel wings shining out from him? I mean, he's not your guardian angel. He's one of the fallen. And he tells you that. They always tell you who their allegiance is to. And you might not believe in all this. You might not believe in angels. Or if you do, you might think they look like this with wings and halos. But fallen angels don't. The Bible even tells you, don't forget to entertain strangers, for by doing so, some people have entertained angels without knowing it because they look like you and me. And they tell us through the songs and movies. Chris Stapleton's Broken Halo song about fallen angels. I've seen my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone now. Broken halos that used to shine. If you literally start to listen to the lyrics of songs, especially rock songs from the 90s and 2000s, they're all about fallen angels. Here's a Foo Fighters song, A Million Miles Away from Heaven, I Think I Lost My Way. He's learning to walk again because he can't fly. His angel wings have been taken away. Can't you see I've waited long enough? He's talking to God because they're stuck here. And I think right now, honestly, they're on a mission from God, deceiving the nations. Revelation 27, when the 1,000 years are expired after the millennial reign, which has already happened, Satan, and you would assume his angels, are released from the prison and they go out to deceive the nations. They're here deceiving us, and maybe it's just all a big test from the Heavenly Father, because he's allowing all this evil to happen right now, and maybe it's testing you to see what side you will choose, dark or light, good or evil. Are you choosing right? Maybe this whole life is just a big test to see if we can earn our halo and angel wings. Or maybe I'm just a crazy conspiracy guy and Tom Brady looks so much younger and tells us that he's not aging because he eats and drinks really healthy and wears his Tom Brady cooling pajamas. I mean, I don't really think Tom Brady was a Larry Hagman of I Dream of Jeannie, even though they have similar taste in clothing and glasses. I mean, they hardly look alike. You can hardly tell the difference there. And so what when you push their heads together, their butt chins and lips and teeth and nose and eyes and eyebrows and forehead wrinkles line up perfectly? That doesn't mean anything, just like it doesn't mean anything that they have the exact same 2 marks in the exact same place on their exact same face. Nah. Coincidence, people. I'm a satire account. Entertainment only. Fallen angels aren't real. Entertainment only. Today, I continue my dismantling of the NFL, and I tackle their fake deaths and phony baloney rituals. And I'm going to start you where it started for me, watching this movie the night before, and I couldn't help but notice a scene involving Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie, who is an NFL player in the movie.
Did you die and not tell us? I was there when you went.
It was that scene that got me thinking, especially when they said, "What did you die?" or something, and then they panned over and paused for a second. And usually when they pause for a second in movies, they're trying to show you symbolism. Symbolism like this G that just happened to be right in that picture frame. When if you don't know anything about the G, well, the Freemasons put it in their symbolism, and they love the number 33 too. We'll get back to that. But I noticed that G, and I noticed how much they emphasized him being an NFL player in the movie. So I started hunting for dead NFL players, and I got to Steve McNair, even though I think he's alive. I just don't know who yet. But I was like, no. And I was like, OJ, but no, the timing doesn't work out, even though they said he was in jail. I was like, no. And then I got to Bengals wide receiver Chris Henry, and well, Anthony Mackie was a wide receiver in that movie, and his name also happened to be Chris. And well, then I did what I do, and I put their faces together and see if they're symmetrical, because if they're not, I toss them away, and well, their faces were pretty darn symmetrical. Eyebrows, eyes, nose, mouth, lips, mustache, and even a little scar right in the exact same place. Now, there's also an exact eye scar in the exact same place, but there's also much, much more. Like when you scroll up, they seem to have, in the exact same relation to the eyebrow, a hole right in their head. If you just scroll on over here as well, you'll notice something right. Nope. Well, right here, looks like there's another hole there, and again, right there in the exact same relation to the eye. Here and here. Do you see them? And well, it always seems like their wives could be a similar fit. Now, they don't look exact, but you could see how one could very easily become the other. I mean, the lips. Now let's quickly circle back to the Freemasons and their love of G and their love of the number 33. You remember this guy's poor, unfortunate accident where he almost lost his life on the football field? Well, it kind of looks like he's doing 33 signs there. Oh, and he's with LeBron. LeBron, who just loves to do the all-seeing eye Illuminati pyramid. Oh, and 33. And maybe you never noticed this, but did you notice how all the players were taking a knee? Except for one, just in case your eyes aren't that good. Oh, and this guy, DeMar, giving the 33 symbol, wearing a jacket with a mocking Jesus jacket on. He just happened to be number 3, so it was awfully convenient they could do this.
Coming out to the field, both number 3s, Russell Wilson and Derwin James, wearing the same jersey number as DeMar Hamlin.
Anyway, moving on to our next Freemason ritual, player death. This is Sean Taylor, who is supposedly killed in an armed robbery at his house. And while you might not be able to wrap your heads around this, but I couldn't help but notice how much he looked like Green Bay Packer, former Dallas Cowboy, Micah Parsons. A lot like him. I mean, a ton like him. Same beard, same chin hair, same mustache, same lips, same nose, same eyes. And it's funny, Micah Parsons on his own Instagram says, "Not who you think I am." I wonder what he could mean by that. And I've had a lot of people say, why don't you ever compare their ears? And well, I don't, because most often they will change them. Ears are easy to change. But in this case, I couldn't help but notice something. And usually I go side by side, but the up and down worked a lot better. Everything matches, including even their earrings are pretty similar. And when you go up and down, that's the same ear. I'm no ear expert, but I have good vision. You be the judge. But here, I won't make you judge. Because why judge when you can just know? You don't need to believe things when you can know things. And, well, that mark right there looks like a scar, a hole in his face. And man, it sure looks the exact same. In the exact same place in relation to the nose as that one. They're identical. But of course, I don't really believe all this, that the NFL is run by the Freemasons and used as a distraction. So you are so involved in football and drinking and gambling that you don't take time to research the important things or figure out who you are and where you are. No, I definitely don't think the NFL players are paid so much because it is their distraction from you figuring out you're not an evolved ape spinning on a planet in endless space. There's a firmament above you, people. Entertainment only. I don't really think DeMar's actually flashing any Freemason, Luciferian, worship the devil gang signs there. No. And neither is LeBron. I mean, he's making heart hands. Those are hard hands there, and he's saying everything's going to be okay. Entertainment only. If you were Harry Houdini and you got buried alive, as he often did, what would you have to do? You would have to burrow out, right? You know, you would burrow a tunnel to get out. Well, I couldn't help but think of something when I thought of Harry Houdini burrowing his way out of being buried alive. Well, not so much something as someone. Yeah, it made me think of Cincinnati Bengals star quarterback Joe Burrow. And well, I couldn't help but notice something about Joe Burrow.
Escapes another hit, throws into the end zone, touchdown to Chase Brown, the remarkable Joe Burrow.
Houdini back there. Huh? Like Houdini back there. He is Houdini. I don't know how the gets out of half the Houdini, bro.
He's Houdini, bro. They even have a Bengals documentary, and an entire episode is called Houdini. And I don't know about you, but I see some similarities there. There's a very certain look they both have. They even passed the symmetry test. I mean, eyes, nose, mouth, even that little butt chin in the exact same place that they both have. Just slightly off center of their lips. Just slightly off. And their noses look similar, their smirks look similar, even their eyebrows look pretty similar. And I couldn't help but notice that Joe was wearing a 740 Ohio area code number. An area where Houdini performed numerous times throughout his career. Oh, and you know what else I found interesting is that the Houdini North building is one of Amazon headquarters, main towers. And well, it was sold in 2019. You want to guess how much it was sold for? Oh, $740 million. And you want to know what happened also in 2019? Oh, no big deal. It just happened to be the year that Joe Burrow won the Heisman, went 15-0, and won the national championship. But I mean, I know this is totally off the wall crazy because I mean, there are pictures of Joe Burrow as a child. They couldn't be the same person. Well, you're sure that one, those pictures are real and that AI hasn't been around for centuries? And two, are you sure they can't just age reduce? Let me show you something. First, I mean, they had to be telling us something with the story Benjamin Buttons, right? They were telling us something there. Now let me show you something very interesting. And keep in mind, the photos from Harry Houdini were pretty old, so it was a little difficult, but there's a little blemish right there, right where there's a dark spot, right in the exact same place. And then there's also a lined scar there, and a lined scar right there in the exact same place. But now this is where it gets very interesting. I see a V there. It's almost like a brand, and yet not as easy to see there as here. I think I still see it. You tell me. Do you see that line there? Seems to correspond there. What do you think? I see something there. Harry, Joe. I'd also like to point out that they do mock us with their names. It's not just accident that his name is Burrow and he's called Houdini, and Harry Houdini was buried alive and almost died and had to literally burrow his way out. I've done videos on this before, like how John Candy is now Luke Combs, and they mock us with the name. Luke and John are both gospel names. Combs is sweet, like a honeycomb. Candy is sweet. Dale Earnhardt is now Morgan Wallen, and Dale Earnhardt hit a wall. That's how he died. Dale Earnhardt hit a wall. Morgan Wall in. Harry Houdini, who just happened to frequent the 740 area code, had to burrow his way out on numerous occasions. Now I realize the mind-bending mental gymnastics that most of you have to go through to even comprehend or even give this a 1% chance, but that's because we've all been shown the world as a very different thing than where we truly live. In my world, where we actually live, anything is possible, including shape-shifting fallen angels who can get younger, live life out again, and then just keep doing it, like they tell us with vampires. And remember, fallen angels are referred to as stars in the Book of Enoch. You know who has a Hollywood star? Entertainment only, though, of course. I don't really think Joe Burrow used to be Harry Houdini and they rub it in her face over and over and over again. No, that's just my imagination running wild on me. Entertainment only. What if I told you all your favorite star athletes weren't really gone? They just assumed new roles. Jackie Robinson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Myles Garrett. And today we turn our attention to Christian McCaffrey and Mickey Mantle. Christian McCaffrey, Mickey Mantle. But you want to see something more interesting? Mickey Mantle died in 1995, just a few short months before Christian McCaffrey was born, but the fun doesn't even come close to stopping there. Because Christian McCaffrey, for some reason, always puts a 7 in his signature. All the time. And well, you know who wore number 7, right? And well, Google can't even come up with any kind of good enough lie. He includes the number 7 in his autograph because it's a nod to his time at Stanford where he wore number 5. He never wore number 7. Oh, and you know what else is interesting about Christian is he played baseball as well in high school. Oh, and Mickey, he played football in high school, excelling at halfback. Do you know what position Christian plays on the 49ers? That's right. But I mean, they couldn't possibly be the same fallen angel, right? I mean, so what? Their facial symmetry is impeccably exact down to the eyebrows, eyes, nose, which even looks the exact same, teeth placement, lips, everything. Couldn't possibly be the same fallen angel entity, right? That's not possible. We don't live in a world with fallen angels. Fallen angels, which are referred to as stars in the Book of Enoch, which was conveniently removed from the Bible. Fallen angels that are referred to as stars, stars. Stars, which the Bible also talks about a third of them being cast down to earth. Do you know what a third is? It's 0.33 repeating. 3. What are their names? Christian McCaffrey, CM, and Mickey Mantle, MM. Do you know what letter C is in the alphabet? It's the third. And do you know what an M looks like if you turn it sideways? 3. Oh, and did you notice their names? McCaffrey. Mick. They tell us This is just all speculation and a series of coincidences, right? It's not like I have anything to prove it. Well, what if I did? Would you open your mind more than it probably is? Let's take a look at these two marks here, but not just those. A very, very specific one right on his lip. Kind of looks like there's a hole in his lip. Kind of just like that one right there. Do you see that? What an amazing series of coincidences. That's all they are, right? Well, have you ever seen how I say they bring their wives with them? Here's Mickey's wife, and here's Christian's wife. Well, but they don't look that much alike, do they? Well, what if we found one of Christian's wife with a little less makeup? I mean, it's pretty darn symmetrical down to the hairline, but hold on. What if you just prettied that face up a whole lot? I mean, their chins are exact, and their noses seem to be pretty exact. If you maybe just made that a little leaner there, and well, those lip gaps sure seem the same, but there's more. Because when you take a little closer look, Christian's wife seems to have a little hole right in her nose. Do you see that? It's like a little gouge. Kind of looks like that one right there. But the coincidences, they don't even stop there, because poor Christian, he's been known to experience vomiting during extreme exertion. Well, it looks like Mickey, who once threw up having you know what with someone, was exerting himself a little too much in that episode. Now here's maybe my favorite part of all this. As I just began to research this, I put on some background noise, as I often do when I research, and I picked a random movie. And within the first 5 minutes of this movie, do you want to hear what came on?
You know why the Yankees always win, Frank?
Because they have Mickey Mantle?
No.
And I get those little synchronicities often. I think just a nod from our Heavenly Father letting me know I'm on the right trail to expose all these fallen angels. These fallen angels whose job it is to get you to worship and be distracted by them instead of the Most High. It's why they're down here. They wanted to be worshipped like God instead of giving him their worship. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I don't really think there are fallen angels down here that the Book of Enoch refers to as stars, and they call the people on TV stars. And they definitely don't fake their deaths as one star and come back as another. No, that would be ridiculous. Kobe Bryant, Myles Garrett. And they definitely don't tell us what they are. Nah, that's ridiculous. I'm a satire account, people. I'm an expert at finding coincidences. That's it. Entertainment only. Oh, and huge shout out to my buddy Jody for first pointing this out to me and finding that whole 7 signature thing. Great stuff. And shout out to 2 other friends, both coincidentally named John, who always remind me to check the wives. You still think Taylor and Travis's relationship is organic, don't you? Aw, that's adorable. Well, if you do, you probably still think they're human, too. You see, this is Alex Majors, and he was born in 1814, and does he look like anybody to you? What about now? Are you seeing the resemblance? And trust me, it's not just resemblance. That's the same angel. I know, that's ridiculous, but before you swipe away, give me 1 more minute. Alex Majors was the founder of the Pony Express, which was founded in St. Joseph's, Missouri. And you know the team Travis plays for, right? The Kansas City Chiefs. Do you want to know where their summer training facility is? Oh, it just happens to be in that exact same town that Alex Majors founded the Pony Express in. What an amazing coincidence. And what an amazing coincidence that they just happen to really like the same attire. And no, it's not time travel. That's what they want you to believe, so you don't realize that they're undying fallen angels. You know, fallen angels that the Book of Enoch, which was conveniently removed from the Bible, refers to as stars. Fallen angels are stars. And boy, I couldn't help but notice how he is always depicted in his sports cards with stars. Travis, superstar status. He's in a star, stargazing, star. He's a fallen angel. And they always tell us, and they always laugh about it, so you don't take it seriously. Watch them mock you here. And notice how he says monsters.
About their favorite sports films on their New Heights podcast.
Space Jam, you get to be on the Monstars.
Rookie of the Year. There's so many good ones. Angels in the Outfield. I'd love to feel what it's like to...
I kind of feel like you guys are the Angels in the Outfield.
We're the Angels in the Outfield.
There's some unknowns, like...
In 1994's Angels in the Outfield, real angels show up and help one of the worst teams in the major leagues make it.
They're mocking you. And so is the movie Angels in the Outfield. It's propaganda to make you think angels are these magical, mystical things that you can't see. No, they're here in the flesh. And they're all the people on the TV, in sports, in the music industry, in acting, and in the political world too. And they mock you that you aren't figuring it out.
I kind of feel like you guys are the Angels in the Outfield.
We're the Angels in the Outfield.
There's some unknowns, like...
They're mocking you. Now, I've loaded the weapon. I've even shot it. And in a second here, it's going to be smoking. And the only question left is, are you too blinded by the way the world has been presented to you to see what reality actually is? Because once you see reality and then you are unwilling to accept it, well, then that's a problem, my friends. And that's why we're stuck in this situation that we're all in, where seeing isn't believing anymore. Being told is believing. I don't believe anymore. I see and I present and I expose. And well, Travis is a fallen angel, and he was Alex Majors, who created the Pony Express where the Chiefs practice, and would literally be over 200 years old, except that's not his real birth. That's the birth of this character. He's thousands of years old because he's an angel. Angels have been around for a lot longer than humans, and you're looking at one right there. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that they're clones. That's it. They didn't at all just create clones, which don't exist at all, to hide the fact that there are fallen angels walking around. And when we see people from our current day like Travis Kelce and they resemble people like him, we say clones. Clones. It's a clones. No clones. Angels. Entertainment only. Aw, Aaron Rodgers gave me a follow, but what's that hand symbol he's doing? Is he saying I love you? You still think that means I love you? And why does Aaron look so much like this 1800s fella? Must be because he's a time traveler, right? No, I don't think you understand. He really looks like him. So much so that when you put their dumb, stupid mustaches together and you smooth over everything, well, everything is an exact anatomical match. And I couldn't help but notice something else about these two different gentlemen. It's this one. Even though it's an 1800s photo, you could still see that mark right there. That mark that just happens to also be right there on good old Aaron. What an interesting turn of events. That him sharing the exact face and symmetry with a dude from the 1800s and having the same mustache and face and the same marks. In this picture from the 1800s, he wasn't alone. Yeah, he was with someone else. And well, I know Aaron dated Danica Patrick, but no, that was close, but that wasn't what I was looking for. But he also dated Shailene Woodley, and that's a nice shirt. We'll get back to that. Yep, Shailene Woodley, and you might not see it here, but how about here? We getting closer? How about if we smush their faces together and see if they line up perfectly? A little more pouty lips now, and a little bit more makeup, but the eyebrows, the eyes, the facial symmetry, the hairline even. And you know what I noticed? Even though it's a really old photo, I noticed a little blemish there. Like there's a mole, and boy, would you imagine that? What an amazing coincidence. Now back to his Star Wars shirt for a second. You know what I keep saying about stars, right? Well, Star Wars isn't what you think it's about. And if you're new here and you don't know what I say about stars, it's, well, stars are symbolic of fallen angels. And Luke Skywalker and his rebellion against God, he's representative of Lucifer. That's why he has a lightsaber. Lucifer's the light bearer. Star Wars is the fallen angel battle against us and the Most High. And in their version of the story, Darth Vader is God, by the way. And yes, stars are representative of fallen angels. Stars are representative of fallen angels. And who brought all the fallen angels down here? Oh, Lucifer. And who is Lucifer again? Oh, he's the devil. Remember that hand sign? Yeah. You getting what I'm throwing down here? Oh, and his little lady friend? And don't worry, she says it's all going to be okay. And if you think that means okay still, you got a lot of research to do, my friends. Because if you still think they're all time travelers or clones and not fallen angels, well, then they have you trapped in the little bubble they want you in. I've done a video on all of these with evidence. Go check them out. And for the uninitiated, Larry Hagman, Houdini, Mickey Mantle, you know Kobe, but that's Wilt, that's H.P. Lovecraft, that's Alex, someone that created the Pony Express, and that's Jackie Robinson next to MJ. And I don't know this guy's name, but I don't need to, because his name is Aaron. And well, a couple of years ago, this would have brought me great pleasure because I grew up a Bears fan and, well, the Packers, but now I see through that additional divide. And now it just brings me great pleasure because I'm exposing all of these angels for what they are. And while I have no more loyalties anymore to teams or states or countries, just to the Most High. And well, Caleb, you're coming real soon, my friend. That's George Gervin, by the way, who ended his career on the Chicago Bulls and was named the Iceman. But of course, it's just for entertainment purposes. I'm sure they're just doppelgangers, and maybe Aaron is just a time traveler, or it's clones. It's definitely clones, and they didn't mock us all by telling us the first thing ever cloned was a sheep, because the sheeple will believe anything. Entertainment only, people.